chord, G chord, corresponding pentatonic scale. Diatonic scale. Chord tones. That would be for the E shape for a G chord. Pentatonic scales correspond to the shape. Diatonic scales. G chord in the shape of a D. Corresponding pentatonic scale. Diatonic scale. Chord tones. Move up to the A shape. Diatonic scale. Pentatonic scale. And then blending them all together. Diatonic scale. Pentatonic. Chord tones. And then coming back to the chord. So if you can do all three of those things over each one of these voicings, it's going to really unlock your playing, bring your playing to a whole other level. In today's lesson, we're going to be using the cage system with the G chord. I'm going to be showing you how to play the chord all the way up the neck and all of the different stock positions, as well as the little triads that are above and below those stock positions. And within each one of these positions, I'm also going to teach you how to play the chord tone / arpeggio, the pentatonic scales, and the major scales, the Ionian mode, for that given shape. For this lesson, I've created a PDF. If you click the link below, it'll take you to my website. There you can download the PDF. It'll be really helpful for following the lesson, and it'll really help me out. It's an 11-page PDF. It has everything we talk in the lesson. It has all the chord shapes all the way up the neck, pentatonic scales, diatonic scales, and all the major scales. And then it has like 2 master scale indexes, pentatonic scales and major scales. So let's dig in. So we're going to start with the G chord in the first position. The G chord is built off of the first, which is G, the third, which is B, and the fifth, which is D, notes of the G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if I kept going, that would be my G. This would be my B, that's my third. D is my 5. And then G is my 1. And those would be the notes that make the chord tones. Now, if I was to play through the pentatonic scale is built on the first, the second, the third, the fifth, and the sixth notes of the major scale. And then I just repeat that. It sounds just like My Girl by the Temptations. That's a great way to think of the sound. So that would be the pentatonic scales. Now if I went to the diatonic scales, I have all the notes in the key. So we have G, is my 1, A is my 2, B is my 3, C is my 4, D is my 5, E is my 6, F sharp is my 7, and then I'm back to my G. And that continues. So a great thing to practice is just going from one of these things to the next and then resolving back to the chord. So if I played a pentatonic scale, I just resolve to G. Now I'm gonna play the chord tones. Now I'm gonna play the diatonic scales. So it's really important to come back to the chord, ties it all together, gives you resolve. And then you can blend all of those things, kind of like I did in the intro. Now we're going to move to the next position, which is going to be our G chord in the shape of an E. So here's my E shape. See, there's your E chord, there's your G chord in the shape of an E. E, F, G. Okay, chord tones. There's my 1, my 3, my 5. My 1, my 3, my 5, and my 1. You can also play it here. You can also play your major third on the 7th fret. Wherever you play those intervals, that's going to give you the notes that make the chord. Those are the most important notes. That's why they're called the chord tones. That's the arpeggio. Now we're going to go to the diatonic scale. Here we go. There's my 1, there's my 2, there's my 3, 5, 6, and back to where we started. Then I could also go to the A, but you always want to come back to that G. Resolve back to the chord. Here would be my diatonic scale, or my G major scale, also known as the Ionian mode. 2 octaves. G is my 1, A is my 2, B is my 3, C is my 4, D is my 5, E is my 6, and F sharp is my 7, and then we're back to where we started. And you can kind of practice blending all 3 of those things. There's my pentatonic scale, diatonic scale, chord tones, and they wrap really nicely into the chord. So we're doing the cage system, so we just did G. So after G would go E. After E would go D. So there's my D shape. Here is my 1. Oh, I forgot to go through the intervals for this shape. There's my 1, there's my 5, there's my 1, there's my 3, there's my 5, and there's my 1. And I can play that a whole bunch of different ways. This would be my first inversion. As long as you play those 3 notes, that's going to give you the chord. So this would be my first inversion. First inversion is playing from the 3rd. Root, playing from the root note. Second inversion is playing from the 5th. Nearly forgot all that. All right, now we're going to move up to the D shape. The G chord in the shape of a D. Okay, so now here is my 1, there's my 5, there's my 1, and there's my 3. And then I could also play these 3 notes, and that would also give me the G chord. Because I'm starting from the B, this would be my first inversion if I played these 3 notes. Nice chord. So that would be my chord voicing for the D. Now I'm going to do the chord tones. So for the chord tones, if I start here, it's going to be my 1, my 3, my 5, my 1, and my 3. Now I can also refinger that a different way. I can play my 1 here, my major 3rd, the 9th fret of the D string, and then I play everything else the same. There's my 5, there's my 1, and then here would be my 3, and there's my 5. And then if I wanted to go lower, here's my 1, here's my 5, and here's my 3. And if I wanted to go here, there's my 1. In this shape we have, this would be my first inversion. So 1, there's my 5, there's my 1, major 3, 5, 1, major 3, or that fingering's a little bit easier actually. Pentatonic scales. So I want you to start and end on those notes to begin. And then you can go above. There's my basic pentatonic scale, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. 2, 3. And if I kept going lower, there would be my 6, my 5, my 3, my 2, and then my 1. Come back to here. There's my pentatonic scales for the D shape. Then you can blend them. Diatonic. Or I didn't even do the diatonic scales yet. Now the diatonic scales. Okay, so here we're going to start. Here's my G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. And then if I kept going lower, and that would end this position of the chord, I can keep going there. Octave number 1, octave number 2, and if I kept going higher, and then I would stop here. Then you can blend everything. There's my diatonic scales, pentatonic scales, and then chord tones. Okay, we move to the next shape. G chord in the shape of a C. So you can see there's my C shape, first position. It's a G chord. Chord tones, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Let's just start with one octave though, or let's just start with root to root. And then we'll go above and below. 3, 5. And then if I keep going lower, there's 5 and 3. There will be my chord. Pentatonic scales. So pentatonic, there's my 1, there's my 2, there's my 3, 5, 6, 1. Then I go above, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then I come backwards. And tie it back to the chord. Diatonic scales. One octave in this shape. Then if I go below, if I started that scale from there, that would be my Phrygian mode, but we're starting from here. Keep going lower. There's my F sharp, there's my E, there's my D, there's my C, and there's my B. And if I go above, so there's my G, there's my A, there's my B, there's my C, and there's my D. Then you can blend them. Pentatonic, diatonic, chord tones. Okay, now G in the shape of an A. Here's my stock chord. There's the A shape. There's my G chord. I can play the chord from here. This will give me my standard root triad. There's my 1, there's my 3, there's my 5. That's grave voicing. I can just play these 3 notes. That'll be second inversion. And there's my root position. Second inversion if I play it from the low E string. Now let's look at the chord tones. It'll be my 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. And then if I go above and below, that would bring me all the way up to the G here. And that would bring me up to the D, which would be my 5th. So that gives you the chord tones. And then I could also play that like this if I wanted to. I could do that the major third on the 14th fret. And that would also work fine. Pentatonic scales. 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. Then if I kept going below, I could go to my E and my D, and then I come back, and then I resolve, like we always talk about, resolving back to the chord. Diatonic scales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shape would end there. 7 and 1. So that would give me my diatonic scales in this shape. If I kept going lower, that would give me my D Mixolydian scale. Now I blend the two. Pentatonic, diatonic, chord tones. Now we're going to move to the next shape. So after the A, we have the G. Here would be my G shape. This is my octave position. So we started. This is back to where we started. So this chord's kind of hard to finger the whole thing. So you can figure it like this. Here would be my 1. There's my 3. There's my 5, and there's my 1. There's my 3. But I could also just do those 3. Now if I start from here, this would be first inversion starting from here. If I started from here, this would be my 5. That would be my second inversion. So those are my chords. The arpeggio / chord tones. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, and 1. Just like in the first position. But this is closed position, so we're playing all the frets. But exactly the same shape as when we did it down in the first position. Now we do the pentatonics. My girl again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. And then I'm going to go to my diatonic scales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Now I blend them. Pentatonic, diatonic, chord tones. And so that basically takes us through all of our different shapes all the way up the neck, different inversions, all of our pentatonic scales, arpeggios, diatonic scales. So a great thing to practice is doing one at a time. And then another thing that is, once you feel like you start to get a handle on some of these, is connecting them and moving up and down the neck. So if you were to start here with the pentatonic scale, then move to the next pentatonic scale. Same thing with the diatonic scales. But it's really important, I think, to always tie it to the chord so you know where you are. So I hope you found this helpful. Being able to play the cage system all the way up the neck and being able to hit all the chord tones, pentatonic scales and diatonic scales is a really great thing to be able to do. It'll help you with writing riffs, your solos, and just your overall guitar knowledge when you're playing with people or you're composing music, writing music. It's just gonna help you unlock the fretboard. Thanks so much for visiting us at Guitar Reference Guide, and I hope everyone has a great day.